Hi, everybody. It is Monday, the 17th of July. We are now in, where the hell are we? Kelowna, British Columbia. We came through from our gig in Seattle last night in Woodinville, and it was a long haul. It's going on 10 in the morning now. Got in about an hour and a half ago, and so this was a long one. And then I've been freaking out for a day because when I was packing to come on tour for the first time in my entire career, I had my passport out and didn't pack it. It's still sitting on my desk at home. And I was freaking because Jay, the tour manager, gave us a notification the night before last. It sent out a thing that said, "Be sure and have your passports ready for when we go through customs." And I looked in my carry bag, and it wasn't there. And it suddenly dawned on me that it was sitting on my desk at home, and it wasn't really enough time to access it. And I was just thinking, what's going to happen when we get to the border and they say, "Can't come in"? It would have been catastrophic. But thank God I have a photocopy of my passport and the new California driver's licenses that are a pretty comprehensive thing. And they ended up accepting that. So we got in, and I could finally breathe a sigh of relief at that. I mean, during the whole show last night and everything and all the stuff going on yesterday, I hadn't been to sleep at all, just from stress, worrying about all this stuff and not wanting to jeopardize the shows or anything like that. So we finally got in here, and I'm just kind of winding down. I just got a cameo order, and I just did that to wish somebody a happy birthday. I'm setting up because I got 3 songs left on this album project that I've been asked to do for this artist, Alessandro Del Vecchio. And he sent me 16 songs, and I'm down to the last 3 now, and we've got a day off. So I think I'm going to try to get a little sleep now, finally. And then I'm going to try to finish up the last 3 songs between today and tomorrow morning. After we cleared customs, I just laid down in the bunk and I watched one of my favorite movies ever, which is Harold and Maude with Bud Cort and Ruth Gordon. And that kind of just helped me wind down a little bit. But man, I've never felt that kind of anxiety and stress worrying about something like this. So I'm glad it's behind me. And we still have to go through customs to get back into the States, but I'm sure that all that stuff will be fine for that. But we play tomorrow night, and then we move on. We got 3 shows up here in Canada, and then we head down into Montana, and I'm excited about that because my sister and my brother-in-law are going to be at one of the shows, and we haven't seen each other in ages. So that's going to be great. And got to see friends and family last night in Seattle or in Woodinville. So that was great too. So since we're not working today, I thought I'd put a little music up. And this was a really cool project. I'm going to read a little bit about this artist. It's another Japanese artist, so I'm useless when it comes down to, especially so much of the information on here is written in Japanese. And I don't have a clue what it is. But this artist's name is Takuro Yoshida. And I'll read this right here. Takuro Yoshida is a Japanese male singer-songwriter. He was born April 5th, 1946 in Okuchi, Kagoshima, and raised in Hiroshima. He made his debut with the single Imeji no Uta Mark II in 1970. His 1972 recording of Tabi no Yado sold over 1 million copies by September of that year, and he was awarded the gold disc. He established his record company for Life Records. In 1975, Yoshida is a musician whose songs have been used as theme songs in television series, theme songs. It's been covered by other artists in Japan. So that's the only thing they really had in there about him, but I'm going to look at the album. I'm going to give you some credits. Now, the thing that was cool was when I got contacted to do the album that we're talking about here, we ended up going to Compass Point Studios in the Bahamas and recording this. It was a group of Japanese musicians and a group of American musicians. Then after that, when the album came out, we went to Japan and toured for about 8 weeks throughout Japan with Takuro. He's kind of like the James Taylor of Japan. He's considered, his writing and stuff is like considered some of the best in Japan. And he's just a great guy to hang with. We had so much fun, and the whole crew and everybody that was involved in this whole thing was just an absolute treat. So I'm going to give you some info here. It was recorded at several different places. They did overdubs and stuff, but the main bulk of the recording was done at Compass Point Studios, and it was mixed at the record plant in Los Angeles and mastered at the mastering lab in LA. Acoustic guitar, I'm going to read through all these on here. Acoustic guitar was Eric Weisberg. Acoustic guitar, mandolin, and bouzouki is Takahiko Ishikawa. Background vocals are Junko Hirotani, Kip Lennon, Kiyoshi Hiyama, Mark Lennon, Nicolette Larson. Nicolette was still alive at that point, and Yashiro Kido. Mark Lennon and Kip Lennon are half of the group called Venice. And I've worked with them before, and they're some of the best singers around and background singers. Akira Okazawa and myself shared bass duties on this album. Craig Durgee, our keyboard player from The Section, co-produced this album with Takuro. The drums on this are Kiyoshi Kamada, Masayoshi Imizumi, and Russ Kunkel. Electric guitar is Ken Yajima, who I've worked a bunch with, and Dean Parks, and Kazuhiko Matsuo. David Lindley played electric lap steel and electric guitar. The mastering engineer was Doug Sachs. It was engineered by the great Ed Cherney and Yuta Kagima. Let's see what else we got. More stuff down here. Keyboards, Hajimo Takeda. Percussion was Yuki Sugawara. Yumiko Kamada also played piano on this, and Craig Durgee played piano, electric piano, and organ. Most all of the songs were written by Takuro. The tenor saxophone on this is Joe Sublett. The thing that was great was when we toured, Yumiko was the second keyboard player on this. She was such a great player, and she is the tiniest little woman. They're just great, adorable. We always sat there every night when we were going out to dinner going, how can she eat so much food? She ate more food than all the guys in the band combined, and she was just a slip of a person. It was amazing. I wrote to her not that long ago and just said hi to her, and she wrote back, and it was really nice to talk to her again. But we had a great time doing this project. So the album is called Long Time No See from 1995. And Takuro, I mean, it was really funny. One night we went into a karaoke bar there, and half the songs in the karaoke machine were Takuro's, but he had been drinking so much we got him to go up and sing just to freak everybody out. He could hardly remember any of the words to anything because he was so hammered. But just a delightful man. We had a great time, and he's still around. I keep trying to hook up with him whenever I go to Japan, and our schedules never seem to align, but maybe at some point I'll see him again. I hope so. But we had such a good time down at Compass Point in the Bahamas making this record. So I'm going to play a couple of tracks from this for you now. Once again, it's written in Japanese. I actually have no idea what the title of this is. And I don't have a translator I haven't got one installed in my laptop, so I can't really be of any help there. So if anybody's curious, well, I can always count. Mark Brooks, I'm going to throw this out at you and see what you can maybe come up with on this one here. But so I'll just call this number one. So here we go. Let me get that downbeat. There we go.
人は嘘を自分につき年のせいにしてみたりするほんとご無沙汰どうしてました気にはしててもついつい気遅れ臆病風外は雨外は雪外は晴れ外は雨ほんとご無沙汰僕の内なる恋心春の猫は庭をかけて恋の相手探しています胸がじくりうずいたならときめくことをしてみましょうよほんとご無沙汰こちらの方は運動不足もともと生来横着者外は月外は風外は花外は春ほんとご無沙汰僕の内なる夢にと僕の内なる恋心
No, stop that. Don't go back and start the end. So the music on that was written by Takuro Yoshida, but the lyrics on that one were Yoko Aki. And so let's find another one on here. This one again, I'll call this number 2. I feel so bad that I can't. And it's so fascinating when you go to other countries, like when I would be in France with Véronique Sanson, you'd look out at the audience and they're singing along with everything. I mean, that's their native language. And in Japan, when we'd be up there with Takuro, the whole audience was singing along on these songs. I mean, they know them. And you're proud to be involved, and you feel like somewhat of a stranger in a strange land when you really don't speak the language. It can be a little frustrating at times. And I've worked with artists from every language imaginable, and it's a little frustrating at times being, you're outside the house looking in the window at the party. But the actual musical quality of it is universal generally. So you just appreciate what you can of it. So here's number 2. These tracks are all with Russ playing drums.
Time が自信に満ちていて本当のことなんて意味のないものだった今ここにいる気にはなれないよ昔のようにはやりたくない思い出が溢れるほどあるけれどわけもなくここは東京君が求めているのは僕じゃない僕は何かの代わりになれはしないこの場所には悲しくはない黄昏れた友情もあるし誰かがきっと愛に気づかせ失ったものは少なくないそれでも過去と寝るなんてこのまま何かを待つなんてわけもなくここは東京やましさを感じ裏切りの気持ちも抱いているか変わらないでいることがやり直さないということと違う道が知ってるさわけもなくここは東京求めているのは僕じゃない僕は何かの代わりになれはしない望むものはより深く幸せの街は遥か遠い振り切ってこの街を出て行こうわけもなくここは東京
And that was music and lyrics by Takuro Yoshida. One more here for you here. We'll call this number 3. I'm getting into a routine here. So here we go. Joe Sublett. The music was written by Takuro Yoshida, and the lyrics were by Shinichi Ishihara. So that's it. Starting the week off with Takuro Yoshida. I also want to say thank you last night to the fabulous Sean Colvin for being part of the show, opening the show and then coming out and singing with Lyle during our set. She's so great. I think I featured some stuff I did with her on a much earlier video on this channel. But Sean is she's really amazing, and reminds me I was sitting there with my eyes closed listening to her, and the closest one for me with her, she and Carla Bonoff remind me a great deal of each other. The quality of their writing and the quality of their singing and playing is really special. So that was great. The heat wave's still roaring along, so please be careful out there. And please, no children or pets in the cars. Make sure that if you have pets and they're outside at all, make sure they got plenty of water. This is not a time to be irresponsible and stupid about things, because it can be a death sentence almost immediately. And when you hear about people that they've gone in to shop and they forgot that they had their kids strapped in a car seat, and it's 140 degrees in the car by the time they get out there, and the children are either dead or they're brain dead at that point. So please be smart about this. These are difficult times in terms of this weather condition that we're dealing with right now. So I haven't slept now in almost 2 days. I am going to darken this room and just lay down and try to grab a few hours sleep, and then I'm going to get up and get to work on that album, try to finish these tracks up for Alessandro, and then we'll be back tomorrow with some more music and a walk through a venue that I may not have been to yet. So I'm excited about that. Some of these Canadian gigs in this side of Canada. I've done casinos and stuff up here, but this one doesn't look familiar in the tour book, so we'll see what it's all about tomorrow. We'll both have an adventure. So I wish everybody a great week, and I'm out of here. So take care. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.